Welcome back, traders. And for those who haven't met me, my name is Ryan Small. I'm the founder of Epic Analysis. And on Mondays, I like to just give overall analysis, uh, pretty much my projections, what I think was going to happen, and what setups I'm going to be looking to trade throughout the week. So on Mondays, I like to call this Marked on Monday. Right now, we're on Marked on Monday, episode 9. So let's dive in. Majority of the time when I first start off trading, I like to look at the overall dollar index because the overall USD is a major pair that likes to be traded. So overall, I like to just get an overall basis on what the US dollar doing, if it's going to be strong or weak within the week, or overall what the technical analysis is showing me on the charts. So let's dive in. So right here, you can clearly see, I talked about this, I believe a week or two ago, that the overall dollar index is tracked between this 92 to 94 range. We kind of pushed up above it, made that higher high, and then on this decline back here, I would have needed this support level to hold in order for us to think that the dollar index was going to stay bullish and make a new higher high potentially. But that didn't happen. When the market made this high, the market ended up pushing back down lower and lower, broke back below the trend line. And as you see that, the market right now in the price action is still looking bearish because we're still pushing lower. We broke back below the 50 MA, broke below the trend line, and now we clearly see that this was a bearish engulfing candle that engulfed the previous 4 days. And right here, we're right above 93 support level. So ideally, you would need to see something like this and then push down to the downside. If we stay with this overall bearish momentum, the only way that the momentum would change is if price could not break and clear below like support down here. So that 92.50, if price doesn't break below there and it does something like this, then overall that bearish bias is no longer going to be valid. So you just need to play it like candle by candle. I would say like 4-hour candle closure. So each 4-hour candle closure, just monitor how they close. If they still look like the momentum is still going to be closing bearish, if the candles are still closing below the previous candles, then overall, we're more than likely going to see the dollar index still remain bearish because it was looking like it was going to go bullish here. It pushed up, and then ever since then, it's like the dollar index has been going bearish. So really around this area, because price still hasn't broke below this support level right here. So this area right here is going to be a key area where I'll be monitoring. If the market bounces in this area, I'll be monitoring how the price action occurs in this area. If we get a bounce up and a retracement, the price can't break above, then I'll be looking to sell it down to this overall 92 support level. All right, and overall, as of right now, based off the price action, I'm favoring the bearish bias, but you never want to just marry one direction. You kind of want to keep an open mind to whatever can happen to the market, because just like that, you need to be able to change your bias and not be too stubborn and just hold on to one direction. Because if you're just like right here, I was overall bullish, and then I seen the market and the candlestick starting to slow down, starting to get smaller, and then right here it looked like it should have went bullish and it didn't happen. So I already knew that we're probably going to get more bearish price action, or we're going to see some type of consolidation. All right, and in this case, we've seen more bearish price action, and it's, as of right now, it's looking like the overall dollar index is going to be bearish. But like I said, just keep it, just monitor that because it can change by Wednesday. You know what I mean? So as of right now, today is Monday. The dollar index is looking bearish, but the overall bias could change by Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's why you have to keep monitoring the trades day by day. You can't just trade on Monday and then just hope it goes to your overall profit by Friday. You still need to monitor it day by day. All right, so Euro USD. So I'm gonna get into a few pairs that I was looking at previously because we didn't get the overall drop, even though my take profits did get hit. My overall long-term pay profits didn't get hit because the price action changed. Oh, I forgot to cancel that. Okay, so with this, you can see even right now we have a high here, and we have like a high here in this area right here, and then now the market is like around this area. So in a long-term perspective, that the market still isn't fully bullish yet. Hold on. Because of this right here. But even when I draw my trend line from my point A to point B, you can clearly see the breakout. All right, so look at it like that. Even though this still looks like a bearish type of structure, it looks like this could be your drop to the retracement, and then it could lead to a whole nother drop. So keep in mind that that can be that can be a scenario to where we found resistance, we dropped, made that extension. This could be the retracement leg before we get ready to make another leg to the downside. So overall, that was my this is how I seen the market getting ready to drop last week. But because of what formed and what happened within the price action, that no longer looks like it's going to be the actual move. So now it looks like overall this was the drop. It retraced. So now I would like to see a slight retracement, hold, and then if we break back above this level and break back above this level right here, the overall I can see the price action coming back up and revisit these highs in this supply zone right here. All right, so overall, as of right now, I'm going to be bullish on the Euro USD. I would like to see it pull back, retrace, hold as some type of support, and then if it does, I will look for buys heavily around this area, put my stop losses below this low down here, and then look to ride it to the upside. My first TP comes in around these highs right here. If it breaks above that, my next TP comes in at this overall supply zone where my blue box is at. All right, so that's pretty much what I'm looking at for Euro USD. We just got and this is the daily time frame, so let me just go to the 4 hour real quick so you can just get a better look. So yeah, these highs right here just got broken, and it just got retested too. But I wouldn't be surprised if price didn't make another attempt. So for me, as long as the market is staying above this level right here, we still have a good opportunity to go bullish. But just keep in mind that this still is a long way where the market can drop. You know, it can still drop over 100 pips to the downside if it needed to. So that's why you don't want to over leverage, and because you think the market needs to go up. Because if you over leverage and you have to deal with 50 to 100 pips of drawdown, that could blow your account if you're over leveraged and you're not using proper risk management. So that's why it's best to kind of just play it, you know, patient, wait for the market to make its drop. And then if it's holding and you're patient and, you know, price action is showing you that the support is about to hold and you start seeing some type of bullish reversal patterns, that's when you want to start getting a little bit more aggressive without, you know, over leveraging. But you still want to, you know, get a little bit more aggressive when the market is starting to decrease. If you're looking for a buy, you don't want to buy it when it's already ascending to the upside. You want to wait for it to pull back, wait for it to find support, and then get in on the buy. And then if it was for the sell, you wait for it to push up in order to sell, just vice versa. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm looking at for Euro USD. I wouldn't be surprised if 1.19 got hit, especially if price can hold around 1.175 and doesn't break below 1.17. All right, USD CAD went pretty bearish. So yeah, after price just recently broke below this low right here. So just keep in mind that because this, you know, this is 3 days, almost 4 days of bearish price action, and we did come from 133 down to this key support level. Ideally, the market can keep going down because of the bearish momentum, but you know, because this is a new week, I would tell you if you're looking to enter this trade, you would need to wait for some type of pullback. And then if that holds, you would look to enter and write it back down towards these lows would be the take profit for me around these lows. And if you could get a pullback anywhere, okay, so you have this support. Let me just draw a horizontal ray. So you had this support right here, and then you also had this support right here. So right here around 132 would be the first level. So I'm gonna just put that around 132 would be the first level. And then the next level above 132 would be 132.50 around the 50 EMA, and that also aligns with this previous support right here. So yeah, well, it's around 1.326. So those two levels are the first two levels that I'm going to be looking at if we could get a retracement to the upside. But just keep in mind, because we have a bear candle, we might not even get it to push up that way. The market may push down lower, and then it may push up, and then I might be the sell in order to push it back down. So you just need to, be patient and play and take what the market gives you. But overall, this is looking like a sell because we just had the market push up into this key area right here. You can clearly see 4 wicks to the upside that did not pass this level. It came up once, twice, 3, 4 times, all rejected. From there, we got a bearish engulfing candle, push price to the 50 EMA. The market retested, gave us a shooting star, and then from there, 3 days of drop. So now we're either going to see a continuation of the drop, or we're going to finally get a continuation into the retracement, into the continuation further. All right, so that's what I'm looking for USD CAD, AUD USD. Okay, so yeah, we got this breakthrough, and then after the breakthrough, the market pushed up here, and then from there, in order for my overall sales to play out, when the market pushed up here and then gave us the shooting star pattern that engulfed, you would have liked to see, even if the market pushed up, you would have liked to see the continuation to the downside. The fact that it did not play out like that, and then we've seen the market break back above these highs right here, is clearly showing us that the market is bearish. So now we need to see if we can possibly get a slight retracement before going higher, or if this is the retracement, because overall we still got to keep in mind that, and this is why I like to just put this on the chart, we have a high here, we have a lower high here. So in that case, it should be another lower high possibly if I extend this out. So with AUD USD, I would need for this to get broken. So let me disregard that real quick. So yeah, for this pair, I would need a break, a retest. And on the retest right here, I'll be looking for buys. And if we could get that, I'll be looking to take this back up to 0.7350, if not 0.74, up to these highs. But yeah, first, I believe like around 0.73, 0.732 would get hit first. So yeah, I would need something like this for AUD USD, because we had that breakout. It was a false breakout, because if the market wanted to go bearish right here, this is what it would have dropped. It gave us the bearish shooting star. Even if the market needed to pull up these next 2 days, it would eventually held below this support and then rolled over. But you can clearly see it 1, 2, and then it gave us a bullish engulfing candle. So also, this could be a fake out because of this overall descending trend line. So with something like this, I just need to see where the market is trying to go. Like if you can clearly see the market reject this trend line, reject from the 61.8 and show a bearish engulfing candle to push the market back below the 50 EMA, then overall, the bearish bias may be back valid. But in this case, because everything is wiping out bearish price action and showing more strength to the bullish price action, I would need to see that break above this overall resistance, break above this trend line. I would like to see the market push back down and retest where it broke out of, or around that area, and hold at now what it would be support. And then from there, I would look for longs to the upside. And as long as the dollar index is staying weak, then more than likely, you could see AU possibly go up, unless there's strong economics coming out for the Australian dollar, which I don't believe there is this week. I have to double check. There might be a few. Yeah, there's not really no Australian dollar employment change. Yeah, so there's not really too much news for the Australian dollar. So if the overall dollar index is weak, then you're more than likely going to see AUD USD go up, especially if you see the price actually start to form. You don't want to just buy it because because the US dollar is weak. You kind of want to look at the price action and then just compare the two. If the dollar index is weak and then AUD USD chart is showing you strength within this chart, showing you all strength, showing you USD weakness, then more than likely it's going to show you that you need to, or it's going to show you why you should be buying AUD USD. And for me, because of so much bearish price action being wiped out, like I said, how the market broke out and then it retested and then dropped, but that retest already got broken out of. Stuff like that is showing me that the barriers aren't in full control. So now this is like the last attempt to see if the market can hold below this trend line and below this overall resistance. If it breaks above that, then we know that the bulls are in control of this market. All right, let me do Euro JPY. So yeah, Euro JPY. I remember I caught buys when the market was down here. It pushed up here, made a high, found resistance. It made a retracement right here. All this did was retrace the previous resistance right there, and then from there we got a bullish engulfing candle to push price above the above the above the resistance. The very next candle retests the 50 EMA. Price holds at that level, breaks above, hits 125, and now the market is pushed back down and is at that level. So overall, either this level right here is going to hold, or you're going to see the market make a little deeper retracement before it heads to the upside. Unless the market breaks below. The only way it won't break to the upside is if it breaks below this support, and then you get that retest like this and the market holds. Then in that case, the overall trend and change, and then you'll be looking for sales to the downside if that were to happen. But as of right now, I would like to see the market push down, hold at some type of support, and then look to push it up to the upside. A break above 125, a break and a hold above 125 will more than likely push this pair 100 to 200 pips to the upside. So if I break and hold above 125, will more than likely put EJ to 126 to 127 resistance. So this is, if you know me, Euro JPY is one of my favorite pairs because it likes to move in it like to move in like 100 to 200 pip increments all the time. So you can easily catch 100, 200 pips and you just understand how the just the tendencies of this pair pretty much. So just like that, how I said this breakout, if I see it pull back and hold at any of these levels, then I'm going to look for heavy buys up until probably 126 to 127. All right, and I can keep it as simple as that. Like, it's not really. Let me just delete some of the drawing tools, just so it's not in the way. All right, so even on the weekly, you can see that the market, it pushed down, and then it came down. Even on like a bigger view, you can see that it pushed down to these levels right here. The levels that started 2020. The levels that started 2020, the market pushed up here, and then now it found its support there. So it was here, it was acting. So at the start of 2020, this level was acting as resistance, and then it dropped. And then the market pushed up, rejected, broke above that level right here. And then when it pushed back down, it retested that level and failed to break below, and then gave a strong bullish price action. So now I'm looking to see if the market pushed up, if we could get a slight retracement of this bullish engulfing candle right here, get a slight retracement before going up to the upside, because it looks like the overall momentum is going bullish until we get a bearish price action to break structure. So the only way that I'm not looking at this to go bullish anymore is if the market breaks below this like that. It would have to break below. First, it would have to break below that level and then break below this level. And that's a far way for it to break. And I don't think it's going to, I would see it pushing back down towards around this area, finding support, and then looking to go to the upside. That's what I'll be looking for. But like I said, you don't want to, assume. You kind of just want to take what the market gives you. But I'm just giving you an example of what I'm looking for. And if this were to happen, that's what I'm going to take. Because sometimes I'm not at the computer to help and give you guys a trade right away. So I like to show you guys what I'm looking for. You can look at this video, see what area I'm targeting around. I'm telling you, if the market doesn't break below this support. So if on Wednesday the market just stalls and eventually pushes back down to this level, but it doesn't break below those areas, that's still an area of retracement that I'm waiting for. And if the market starts to show bullish price action around that area, I'm going to be looking for my longs. If we push up and we can't break above 125, the market may push back down one more time. If it doesn't show strong bearish price action, we're still overall bullish. And then boom, if we break above that 125, now I'm just waiting to see if that 125 is going to hold. So either the price is either going to push straight up or it's going to make one more attempt to the downside. And if on that attempt, if that 125, this level right here, if that still holds and the market can't really break below that, then overall we're going to look and still see this as a continuation to the upside trade. So, and that's why I'm saying you got to take it day by day, because it could have been an opportunity where, let me see. So, like, yeah, for example, it could have been an opportunity where you thought, the market was still going to go bullish, but on this drop, this could have been where the market switches direction. So instead of it retesting and holding at 125, this could have been where it broke below 125 and then boom, pushes up. This could have been your potential sell, and then the market wants to push back down like that. But even if it does all that, the market is still overall bullish because this low right here is still valid. The market still hasn't, it broke below that low, and overall this low down here. All right. So I went over with about 5 pairs: DXY, Euro USD, AUD USD, USD CAD, and Euro JPY. I have a few more pairs that I want to kind of go over. So let me go over Euro NZD, so the Euro New Zealand dollar. The structure on this has also been pretty bullish. So boom, draw a trend line, point A to point B, extend it out to the future, point A here, point B here, and then it just extended out to the future. Whatever happens, happens. So we can clearly see that the market is at this level right here, is struggling to break above that level, and then we're also at this trend line. So for me, if the market can't break below this support right here, we're overall going to remain bullish. Of course, this would be the key lows down here. So for me, let me just hold on. Let me delete the first one. So you possibly can draw a fib from either this low up to this high like that. We have a slight retracement. So for me, I would like the market to stay above 1.76 support. If we break below that, then my overall bullish bias is not going to remain valid. But now, if we stay above this level, this 1.7600, if we stay above that, then overall, I would like to see eventually the market start to find its way, even if it, does take its time. I would eventually like to find its way back up to this resistance here. And overall, I would love to see the negative 24 get hit if we can. But because overall this is looking bullish, you can clearly see market made higher high, higher low, price made higher high, market just made a higher low. So now I'm just waiting to see if the market can make a valid higher low again. So I would just need this low down here to hold. If that low holds, then overall we are already pushed back to the 72.6 retracement. So then we could start to see the market push up to the upside, back towards 1.79 and possibly 1.80. So yeah, right now the market is at 1.775. So even at 1.79, that's 150 pips to the upside. So yeah, I'm gonna be monitoring Euro NZD pretty closely this week too, and waiting to see how price reaction around this range where we're currently at, around this 1.775 to 1.77 support range. All right. What else do I have? GBP USD. Pretty much going to be similar to the other USD pairs. You clearly see the market was in this wedge. We got that breakout. Most recently, we got this breakout. The market pushed back down and retested the trend line right here, acting as support. It held as support, and then we immediately got the next 3 days to go bullish, and the market just made a new higher high. So now, because the market just made a new higher high, we're either going to get a continuation up higher, or we're eventually going to get some type of decline before the market needs to make that retracement back up towards 132 possibly. So for me, I would look that 131, 131.50 range is where I'll be targeting. But if we break and clear those ranges, then that 132 looks ideal for me, because that also aligns with the resistance in the past over here somewhere. Oh, I think it was over here, yeah. Yeah, like right over here ish. So yeah, that aligns with that resistance. So overall, that 131, 131.50 is where I expect to get hit. If price clears that, then that 132 is where I would be expecting GBP USD to reach. And right now, the overall structure is looking bullish. You just got that breakout. We just made new highs. So now either we're going to continue that momentum just straight up and there isn't going to be a retracement, or we're going to push up a little higher, finally get that pullback. And then on that pullback, as long as structure holds and the market isn't breaking below structure, then I'll be looking and waiting for the market to find support to push it back up to the upside. All right. GBP JPY. It's kind of within the same logic. So on the weekly time frame, there's something in the way here. Okay, yeah. So on the weekly time frame, you can see the market came in, pinned the support right here, and then it immediately pushed to the upside and broke above the 50 EMA. And this is the weekly time frame. So looking at it on a daily, you can see that that level right here also got broken. So for me, it looks like this may give like a slight pullback, possibly back down towards like 137. And from there, I would like to see how the market reacts, because right here, the candlesticks are like, they're real close together and there isn't like no real flow to the actual price action. So with something like this, I really need to see where the market is trying to do, because it can easily drop 100 pips to the downside and then push up 100, 200 pips, or it could easily just shoot up 100 pips and then shoot back down 100 pips. So this is GBP JPY. If you've been trading, you know certain pairs move a little bit more volatile or move in higher increments than other pairs. And GBP JPY is one of those pairs that can move a lot more volatile than some of the other slower moving pairs. So with something like this, because I've already gave out, and talked about majority of pairs, something like this, I kind of will put this on the back burner until I see more confirmation and more actual price action to show me where the market is trying to go. So in this case, right now, the overall market looks bullish. It's just because we see that the market pushed up all the way over here. We only had this one bearish candle right here, and then it led to more uprise. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a slight pullback before the market showed us what it was really trying to do. And that might not happen. This might be the pullback, and then it might just push straight up. So that's why I'm not really worried about this pair right now. I kind of just need to wait and see more confirmation. That way I can take a better bias on where I think the market is potentially going to go. As of right now, my overall bias is bullish, but it's at this weird area where I just need to see if it wants to break above this resistance right here, or if it's going to reject and give us that slight retracement that we need. All right, that's GBP JPY. I believe I have like two more pairs. AUD JPY. So AUD JPY, if you look at this on a weekly time frame, it's another pair that's looks kind of weird. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people, and even right now, it's kind of too early to say so, but I feel like a lot of people are looking at sales on this, and for some reason, to me, it looks more like a buy. Like the momentum looks more bullish to me. All right, so let me just look. Okay, so even if you just look, like, there's so many bullish candlesticks pushing price up. You barely see bearish candlesticks. The market got pushed all the way up to 78, and then that's when you start to see a few bearish candlesticks. But like, it's hard for me to say that these bearish candlesticks, just these bearish candlesticks, can outweigh all of this. So it's just hard for me to say that. Like, I would need to see the market break below this support first. So I would need these lows to get broken first, and then I would need to see a pullback in the market hold. And then I would be like, okay, now I could get a good sell. And then I would look to sell it down to the downside. But because that's not the scenario just yet, so in this case, I'm looking at this like, this was the upside move. This is the pullback of that move. And that's just making it a higher low right here. The market pushed up, so it could, don't get me wrong, it could push down another attempt right here, but as long as the market holds below above this high, then overall I can see the market pushing back up to the highs and possibly making new highs, honestly. But this is a pair that I don't trade too often, and like I said, I need to monitor this day by day. I'm just looking at this and giving an example based off Monday. By Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when I'm going to be getting into where I'm actually looking to trade in, instant executions and stuff like that. This is just more so of the overviews of pairs that I'm looking at and what I expect to potentially happen. And if these certain things do happen and I'm not able to hop on, I still give you guys video evidence to where you can see and you can learn, and hopefully you guys can make profits and trade from. All right, so yeah, for me, I'm looking at this as the move. This might be a slight pullback. It might not even pull back this deep, and then eventually I might be looking to take this to the upside as long as we get some type of bullish confirmation on like the 4-hour and the daily time frames. And also looking at this on the daily time frame. Let me just, I gotta delete some of these. Okay, yeah, so on the 4-hour, you can see that these highs right here were important. And then we got that break, and then that broke above that resistance. And then that same resistance right now is just now getting retested on the 4-hour. So this might be the retracement before we get the pull up to the upside. And that's what I like to see, a move like that happen on AUD JPY. All right, the last pair I'm going to be going over, because I probably went over like 10 pairs already. I don't know how long this video is. It's going to be EUR CAD. I'm still tired. The Lakers won last night. I was partying in downtown all night. It was out my window, yelling, doing graffiti till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. All right, yeah, so the last pair I'm going to be looking at is EUR CAD. And on EUR CAD, you can honestly look at this on a higher perspective. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, I have a good pin to the upside here, a good pin to the upside here. And mind you, we had pins all through here. And then we also had a pin at the top most recently. So this pin at the top, the market dropped, and then it pushed up and hit this pin. So on the weekly time frame, you can possibly draw a fib from this high down to this low. Like that. And because the market already pushed up, came shy of the 61.8, hit the 50%. I don't have it marked, but it would have hit the 50%, hit the 38.2%. And now the market, so right now, because it's the weekly time frame, let me just go down to the daily. This support level down here is where I expect the market to reach. So where is that? Around 1.54, 1.542. So around there is where the market should be headed. And if we break below this support, so if we break below this support right here, then overall, you would need it to break below like this in a retest. So if we get that break and that retest, this is a whole nother sell opportunity. Then you could look to hold this down towards like 1.53 support. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for on EUR CAD. Everything was more so showing bearish confirmation signs. Even up here on a daily time frame, price came up, printed a railroad, pushed price down, came up, retested that, gave us a tweezer top, pushed the price up, tweezer top, drop, bearish engulfing candle that breaks below support and pushes price below the 50 EMA. So now, even if we don't push down first, I expect a slight pullback either here, or we're going to push down further and then pull back, and then I expect that continuation to eventually happen, especially if we break below this support down here. So yeah, if the market breaks below that support, retest, I would love for it to push back down like that. I just need this support to get broken in order for me to look for the retest here to sell it in further continuation down to the downside. All right, so went over a few pairs for Markup Monday, episode 9. Hopefully, some of these pairs are some of the trades that you guys are looking to trade. If you guys aren't in the Telegram, I've been posting in Telegram, not as often. I'm more so focused on the paid members in the VIP group. So if you guys want to get to some hands-on trading and actually learn how to trade without recruiting and MLM involved, hit me up on Instagram at Winning with Ryan, or check out the website www.epicanalysis.com, or you can follow the Instagram at Epic Analysis on Instagram. All right, so yeah, hopefully this video helps. I'm going to post this on YouTube and some of the other chats that people follow me on and we've been connecting with, trading with. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, just message me on here or on Instagram at Winning with Ryan. And I hope this video helps. Take care.